We'll have to see. Of course, we haven't seen 𝗀𝗲𝗃 play the tournament side. And there we have it, the dreaded 𝗃𝗯. Dun, dun, dun. You know, I was very happy not seeing 𝗃𝗯 for a very long time. I'm used to not seeing 𝗃𝗯 now, so the abominable snowman coming back in, I don't mind it too much. But of course, with that Luma Kidu as well, talk about the spookiest combo you can see. But the Naga opening turn here was to be expected. I mean, speaking of expected, 2-wire ban. If 2-wire wasn't banned here, the chaos would have been way too much here. So that ban was sort of not obvious, but definitely one of the more practical ones to speak of. But it's up to 𝗀𝗲𝗃 here. We'll see what he decides to do in this opening turn with that Naga opening. Picks up Toolcan, 𝗬𝗏𝗃, Toolcan to swap out turn 2, of course. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, 𝗃𝗏𝗺 is honestly one of the best, if not the best, answers to a heavy toxic team, right? Because Crystal is resistant to toxic techniques, right? So yeah, that's exactly why 𝗃𝗏𝗺 does get the ban there. But hey, 𝗀𝗏𝗃 making sure that Maggia doesn't ban both of the Wind Temtem. So well done picking it up. Even though it's not going to be doing too much early game. Actually, Wind Burst turn 1 does tend to chunk that Nogguys a bit. A Wind Burst into Toxic Ink might just take that Nogguys closer in that neighborhood of like 40%, if not a little bit more. So we'll see. But snrplat pairing up this Nogguys with the Noxolano, so not too bad on both accounts.
Yeah, we'll have to see how Maggia responds to this. May just go full Toxic here. That actually wouldn't be that bad. Actually, full Toxic would be decent here. I mean, the question will be, it will boil down to how do you kill off the 𝗃𝗯𝗺, and it's not like he has a 100% answer. Of course, the Naga, the best choice here, but you don't want to overload it. So he doesn't even deal with that. He says, no, let's not deal with the 𝗃𝗯𝗺 today. If anything, I would like a Naga mirror matchup, so at least he can prepare for that. 𝗃𝗯𝗺 would be too huge here, especially for only Naga to deal with it. So that gets out of the way. They're just still picked up here with that ruler. And now it's down to either a Naga or a Kiinu. I mean, 𝗀𝗲𝗃, I wouldn't really like the Kiinu here, but both of them are weak to the Toxic Squad. So I guess just getting that buff, getting that potential sacrifice on that table is going to be the decision made.
Yeah, not too bad. And hey, if you guys told me at the start of the day we're gonna get a rotor in our finals, I would thought you guys were tripping, but here we are. snrplat is gonna be showing off this rotor. And can he bring rotor into the victory seat one more time? He's done it in the past, so let's see if he can do it here today. I mean, 𝗀𝗏𝗃 ganking it all the way to the finals as well. And getting started with that heater turn 1, and Nogguys knew what was coming into his side, so goes ahead and swaps out. But swapping into a 𝗬𝗏𝗃 facing off a Tokan doesn't feel too nice as well.
Toxic Ink into the Toolcan, and the trade comes through. 𝗬𝗏𝗃 will be taking the lesser damage of the two, but the Wind Burst compensates severely. Trade favoring the side of 𝗀𝗏𝗃.
Yeah, hugely favored, so much so that at 44%, that's a tornado. That is a tornado to the face, so that leaves it a little bit straightforward. There's only one Temtem that possibly wants to eat that tornado, and that is the rotor, right? Rotor, most likely a thick-skinned rotor, so 50% reduction on that tornado. However, 𝗬𝗏𝗃 is still here. Allergic spread on the oncoming rotor could be more the obvious play, but of course we've seen snrplat not really go for the obvious line of plays. I just don't know what wants to eat a tornado from this Tokan here.
Naga swapping in though to this turn. Tornado, speaking of the devil, Noxolano is gammeted away here because that was certainly going to kill it if it was staying in. So there it goes. And Toxic gets straight into the Naga, so straight up disaster here for Maggia. The Naga is literally on death's door already. My god, I was in the middle of drinking water. Did not expect that damage to be so huge. Maggia straight down to Thames pretty much already.
Exactly right. You would never have expected that, but 𝗀𝗏𝗃 has been watching snrplat. He knows how to approach the team, And boy, is he doing fantastic here early game. As you mentioned, Blue, almost 2 Temtems already eliminated from his side. And you know, it didn't come at that much of a cost. You know, a little stamina from 𝗧𝗏𝗃, a little HP from this Toukon. But let's see, he's going to try to make up the work right here. The size surge bringing it down to 8.7, which means is pretty much as good as dead with this 𝗧𝗏𝗃 follow-up. Most likely.
The kid picks up the Naga. Yeah, for sure. Toxic Ink secures the kill on the Toukon, so not the worst, but definitely not the best. You traded 2 attempts for a Toukon. It's not the worst trade deal I've ever seen in my life, but definitely not the best, because your only choice here is to swap in the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶. Yes, you have Roller, but Roller is going to get pummeled, and Maggia knows that. So it's swapping in 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶 here, and of course 𝗧𝗏𝗺 most likely coming in. No, 𝗂𝗶𝗵 going to be coming in here, so expecting the Roller to the side of 𝗧𝗏𝗺, although that's not really that significant of a misread. The already amount of devastation that's gone through on Maggia's side has given 𝗧𝗏𝗺 so much advantage here, especially on the damage department. You've lost your, I would argue, your two heaviest hitters on the side of Maggia, like straight out the bat. So this is looking rough for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's impossible, however. I mean, it depends how these final couple turns. It's funny we're saying final because so much has happened. It's still only turn 4, so I guess this is kind of considered a bit of a mid-game, if you will. But okay, Plague on the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶 just because it's neutral, and of course you get to trap it in and overexert. Oh, never mind. 𝗧𝗏𝗺 doesn't work with handcuff there.
Bruh. Yeah, it doesn't run handcuffs on the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗏, runs Sweatband instead. Interesting decision. I wonder where the handcuffs went. Maybe it's not running handcuffs at all.
Yeah, maybe just not running it.
Yeah, perhaps different what's the word? Different preferences, I think is the word.
Yeah, we've seen it in the past. Sweatband 𝗂𝗶𝗵 from the likes of legendary tamer 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶, right? He used the Sweatband 𝗂𝗶𝗵 for relentless. You know, when Kinu was a thing, when Kinu Protector, you buff a 𝗂𝗶𝗵, 𝗧𝗏𝗺, and he stays alive forever. But okay, the secondary Plague onto the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶, but should be recovered quite well from this 𝗧𝗏𝗃 there.
It looks like trying to weather out the storm is Maggia's plan. But then again, will he be able to weather out the storm? Bark Shield already laid up here. The 𝗧𝗏𝗃 actually, yeah, I mean, he could weather out the storm here. If the 𝗧𝗏𝗺 couldn't commit for damage, but we don't even know if this is half full or good friend yet. If it's half full, then there certainly will be enough damage, because 𝗧𝗏𝗃 can't increase special defense. So I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe it's not half full, actually, considering that 𝗧𝗏𝗺 has yet to enter. Or maybe just wanted to set up the 𝗂𝗶𝗵.
Yeah, well, my money's on that it is a half full. We'll just have to wait and see. I believe I'm remembering a half full from 𝗧𝗏𝗺, but I don't remember perfectly. So we'll just have to sit back and see when it does enter that battlefield to get confirmation. But so far, so good. Mind it, +2 defense on a 𝗂𝗶𝗵 is literally game-winning sometimes. So I like what 𝗧𝗏𝗺's doing here. And hey, he's going for the 𝗧𝗏𝗃 just for the potential overexertion value. Does he overexert? No, it does not. A little Spores doesn't get there.
Water Jet as well, committing, removing the Lightful Sap. Very smart choice there from the side of Maggia. 𝗧𝗏𝗺 running out of HP on his options, and the board is slowly swinging to Maggia's side again, because you're not doing enough damage. I mean, that's the bottom line right now. Is 𝗂𝗶𝗵 is on a worse matchup than it expected, right? You want this 𝗂𝗶𝗵 for the Roller and a 𝗧𝗏𝗺 for the 𝗂𝗏𝗵𝗶. And right now, the wrong Tems are on the wrong boards. Let's put it that way. OX is on the 𝗂𝗶𝗵 as well, but the Toxic Ink pushing it closer and closer to death, and Regenerate doesn't do more than the Toxic ticks, that's for certain. Will live at 6% HP, but again, still, this is not looking very smooth here. He's losing Temps just to bleed out.
Exactly, and hey, on the plus side, he can just swap in for another Temtem and let that 𝗂𝗶𝗵 recover that 60% additional HP in the back line. But alright, in comes the Kinu, and hey, proper read for 𝗧𝗏𝗺. Maybe reading that Rotor was most likely coming in. Because, you know, funny enough, that's about the only thing that's really going to be hurting that rotor pretty good. Beta Burst should at least be effective damage. I guess Beta Burst and Allergic Spread could do a little something on this rotor. The same can't be said about Rotor here, though. I'm actually curious. Was he thinking that 𝗧𝗵𝗶 was coming in for the 𝗬𝗶𝗶? I think that's what Maggia was reading there.
Yes, I believe that was the read. And also, I just like to point out, 𝗬𝗵 was also supposed to counter Rotor here. The problem is, now it's at 60% HP and a Snowball will clap it. So, it's unfortunately not even Snowball, Goring will clap it. So, the problem is now that the 𝗬𝗵 is so low, it's unable to really push for that roller counter. They're still coming back in to deal with that Kinu, especially with the Monstrous Launch, exhausting the options. And look at how much stamina that burns through. Beta Burst doing 5% damage. Once again, just chipping away at the Ninjasil's HP. Not necessarily going to be game-winning here, but slow and steady wins the race. Mods can ban me at this pace.
Yeah, well, now Kinu not looking too good here. 2 Toxic Temtem staring it down. Double Toxic Ink doesn't sound bad. And if you look at the entirety of the back line, 𝗬𝗵 doesn't want to come into that. 𝗧𝗵𝗆 doesn't really ideally want to come into that, especially if it's a half full one, right? Starting at 50%, or maybe 60% if it has Baton Pass. But a Hypno to try to save the day. And does go for the 𝗬𝗶𝗶, most likely thinking that energy drink is on that Ninjasil.
Oh, that actually kills the Ninjasil next turn. Toxic Ink will literally just kill the Ninjasil. With the 𝗬𝗶𝗆 asleep as well, it is literally caught sleeping, ladies and gentlemen. Ninjasil at 15.1% HP, Toxic Ink should secure it. And the Kinu, I think it's fine revitalizing here, especially with the 𝗃𝗻 Mask. If you revitalize, should live another Toxic Ink, or sorry, correction. Another Toxic Ink should not kill the Kinu here, so regardless of turn order, Revitalize was going to go off, definitely heals up to 78% HP, and the Toxic Ink secures the bag. So, Maggia, he tried to bring it back, but now the 𝗬𝗵's healing up. Ninjasil's not dead yet on the side of little 𝗬𝗧𝗃, and the Kinu in a healthy position to continually contest the roller here.
Yeah, impressive set of plays for the side of little 𝗬𝗧𝗃, getting the better of snrplat in these past couple rounds. And you know, he still has so many answers for these final Temtems. He could almost just leave Kinu in for like another Hypno. He could just Beta Burst the rotor, get somewhere easier into that one-shot Plague range, because 𝗬𝗵's still around in the back line. Plague, yeah, I think this is right. You Beta Burst, take it into Plague range, and then 𝗧𝗵𝗆 versus a 𝗬𝗶𝗆 is easy pickings. I can't believe it, but little 𝗬𝗧𝗃 looking to go up one game against Maggia. We would never have thought that, but is looking so far that way, unless I'm missing something.
Kinu gets picked off, but its job is done. It's committed. It's killed off that Ninjasil, or at least assisted in that elimination. And there's still a 𝗬𝗵, and it's already at over half HP. This roller is dead to rights. Unless it somehow shrinks itself into the size of the 𝗬𝗵 and then evades, there's no way. Plague will connect into the roller, securing that kill, and now 𝗬𝗶𝗆 versus the world. You would think that was going to be a little 𝗬𝗧𝗃 side, but no, 𝗬𝗶𝗆 will be the one versus the world here.
Yeah, and it's a little bit too tall of a task for this 𝗬𝗶𝗆. As we mentioned, I mean, literally, he could just stay in with these Temtems, nick away at the 𝗬𝗶𝗆 slightly, and then once 𝗬𝗆 hits the field, one Thunder Strike should be it. So, double Plague here. And then once this Ninjasil falls down from this 𝗬𝗶𝗆, a 𝗬𝗆 comes in, and then a big whopping +1 special attack. Thunder Strike will take it down. So, hey guys, little 𝗬𝗧𝗃 going up one game against our legendary tamer, snrplat.
Maggia still made that game look even despite that the 2-temp disadvantage, but it's still a great read by little 𝗬𝗧𝗃 getting those 2 pickoffs so early, because the advantage was literally insurmountable at that point. So again, well done to him. We'll see if he can continually bring that in the second game. Or if Maggia falls into the trap again.
Interesting decision. Maggia lost, but still elected to go orange side, so he doesn't get the early counter pick. He gets that late counter pick, which maybe is what snrplat likes to play. I mean, obviously what he prefers to play because he chose it. So let's see forced to pick up 2 Temtems right now, leaving that early counter pick for little 𝗬𝗧. I feel like he's gonna pick up Toukon just as he did last time. But okay, if he does pick up Toukon, Naga is there for that turn 2 𝗧𝗺's Fury, so not too bad. Actually, wait a second, Blue. Isn't this the same that went down the first game?
No, it was 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗴, which was way worse. It was 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 who couldn't contest Toukon, and Naga who came back in and instantly got one shot by Toxic Game. So a slight difference, better Toxic Temp for sure on that left spot with the Naga. So it might go better. I mean, we'll have to see. Tornado's devastating. I don't think Mashuk will live that either. So it's down to the plays turn 1. I doubt that Gia will be doing anything there.
And hey, I'm seeing here in chat, wait a second, Matt, did you want to be blue side and you got orange side? Little 𝗬𝗧, if you could confirm in the chat that Maggia sent the invite. If this is a bug, we can maybe reset it. But honestly, Matt, I've never seen this bug before. Is this actually a bug, or was this... What, little 𝗬𝗧, if you're in here, if you could confirm anything. Because, yeah, Matt, I don't know how that happens. It looks like little 𝗬𝗧 sent the invite. So, I don't know what's going on. If little 𝗬𝗧 can confirm or not. That way we have 2 sides. Wait, yeah, Maggia, wait, you didn't... Wait, guys, what is going on? Is that a bug? Is this bugged? And AC was blue side?
Yeah, Maggia was blue side last game. Let me check. Yeah, he was blue last game. This one he's second. So if you wanted first pick, we could start the draft over. Yeah, that's
yeah. Oh yeah, Blue. I'm so confused. I don't know if we go forward with this game. So wait a second. If little 𝗬𝗧 was in chat, we could confirm, because you know, if little 𝗬𝗧 said, "Yeah, Maggia told me that I will receive the invite," then we kind of messed up here. Because why did little 𝗬𝗧 send the revite? Yeah, I mean, guys, tag little 𝗬𝗧, because I just want confirmation for 𝗬𝗧, because of course, you know, I trust Maggia, but I just want to get confirmation from both sides just to be perfectly safe. So we could just get little 𝗬𝗧. I'm going to try to tag him. But yeah, Maggia, I know. Oh man, are these guys just going to play it out? I am so confused as everyone is here.
It looks like they're just playing it out. The trade 1-for-1 comes through. Wastewater to follow, trying to commit into the Toukon here. Doesn't get the kill. Does some decent ship damage. That Windburst connects. The trade 1-for-1 comes through. Naga doesn't die here this time, fortunately, and the Toukon nearly dead here. So maybe not a 2-for-1 trade here this time. But we'll have to see if we're gonna get a redraft. It is before turn 3, guys. If you can decide before then if we're committing or we're going.
I mean, honestly, Blue, these guys are going. These guys are going. I mean, hey, if Maggia wanted to retreat already, he could have done it during the draft. But I think Maggia, as stubborn as he always is, he just wants to play it regardless of how it turns out. So let's keep it moving and grooving. So 𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗶 will be the swap in for that Naga. Toukon, knowing he's going down, wants to save that tornado later down the road and gets the first Kinu value here onto the Yggdrasil.
It's like that last game, except everything is 1 turn early. Narcoleptic Hit goes into 𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗶. That's surprising to me. And the Wastewater is going to obliterate this Kinu. Sorry, not quite. Does half damage, just slightly over. I would have thought that the Wastewater would do way more damage to the Kinu, but guess not there. Kinu either tanky or the Mashuk doesn't have enough damage brought forth. So,
yeah,
a little decent bit trading both, here.
Probably. Yeah. And the 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗶 mask goes a long way as well. It looks like that's the item Kinu's carrying.
Alright, yeah, that's most likely the big factor here. And now the big difference here, plus, is that both players are on 5, rather than Lil 𝗬𝗧 losing that Toukon and trading for a 2-for-1 deal like a Happy Meal. So it is perfectly fine. But Maggia will be swapping out the Mashuk for that Yggdrasil coming through. So, trying to play the long con game here. Mom's Lunch once again, exhausting everyone else. Hypnosis will be put forth to sleep. The Cal was actually a great moment because it was exhausted, so just fine. Bark Shield, OX on the mid, I believe. Despite the defense up, yeah, there it goes. So, huge committal. Very good Mom's Lunch. And I just realized why Mom's Lunch exhausts people. Oh my god. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. She cooks so much, you're just in a sleep coma, right? Or food coma.
Yeah, exactly. You're jealous of the dude with the Mom's Lunch. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, as you mentioned, 𝗧𝗵𝗶 using Mom's Lunch to perfection. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to catch your opponent off guard. They don't see the overexertion, but they end up overexerting. So that Bark Shield was not intended to overexert little 𝗬𝗧, but it does indeed happen. The Revitalize with the Nature Synergy does recover both of their HP a tad bit. And I guess the same can be said about this 𝗬𝗶 here.
Those are the Ninja Shield, though. That's a surprise. Did 3% damage plus 3. 3 you didn't miss that. 3% damage. We'll be here for 10 turns before the Ninja Shield dies to Toxic Wings. Let's put it that way.
Very true. So we'll see here. And of course, I'm interested about 𝗧𝗵𝗶. I guess he was just 100% confirmed that Kinu was going to swap out there. So didn't want to go for a Toxic Ink onto the Kinu spot. Well, this is a tough situation for 𝗧𝗵𝗶, at least early game here. +3 defense Yggdrasil without any Wind Temtems. And then +2 defense Kinu, which is your revitalized target, right? The one that's going to be enabling the heals and enabling the sleep effects onto 𝗧𝗵𝗶's team as well, which we've seen go so far in the past.
Toxic Ink chipping away Stonewall. Oh my god! Completely protecting this Yggdrasil. The Toxic Ink, though, gonna chip away at the Kinu, just committing to slowly chipping it off. The biggest disaster here could be a sacrifice into that Nig and just say, haha, nice one. Now I have a 5-2, 5-4 Yggdrasil, which I wouldn't be surprised if 𝗬𝗧 did. We've seen Hypnosis, Beta Burst, Revitalize. If the last move is Sacrifice, oh no, sorry, it's Stonewall, sorry. It used Stonewall, so no, it does not have Sacrifice, so it will just stall out as long as possible. And 7% damage onto the Yggdrasil. Actually, correction, it was 7%, not 3% plus, so it is doing more. It'll take 10 turns to kill the Yggdrasil from now, but that's assuming Revitalizes don't come plenty here for 𝗬𝗧.
Exactly, and you get the little extra with the Nature Synergy as well, so when Kinu even revitalizes itself, even the Yggdrasil recovers, I believe, 5 to 10%. So yeah, not too bad. Looks like the Revitalized play ended up working out instead of the Sacrifice. We don't know if little 𝗬𝗧's Kinu does run Sacrifice. We thought he was going to deploy it earlier in the Swiss, but we didn't get to see it, so perhaps it doesn't have Sacrifice, or electing to save it down the road, because you know Yggdrasil is already at +5 defense, so that +2 defense may be better somewhere else, maybe on that 𝗬𝗵𝗵 back there. Doesn't feel too terrible, but at the same time, this Yggdrasil is getting out of hand for Maggia to overcome. We'll see exactly how he decides to do it, but okay, little by little damage. The only way to play these Toxic Mirrors. Is Kinu finally a goner is the question.
Yes, sir. Even rested, knowing the demise was coming through. Pretty much Kinu, I mean, it could have been a bursted to, you know, like, put the damage in, but now you get the swap in. The question is, what do you swap in? I think the 𝗬𝗵 is the best choice here. Tolkien kind of low. I mean, yeah, Tolkien's okay here. Yeah,
obviously Tolkien, if it was healthy, it can do so much. But, you know, 𝗬𝗵 in there would be decent. But remember, Mashuk with those P-Jab uppercuts, pretty much 2 shots of 𝗬𝗵. So maybe not too ideal with this Mashuk on the board. I think Malzahn, the 𝗧𝗵𝗆, is perfectly fine. You get 1 step closer to your Fire Tornado. And a Thunder Strike, surprising enough, still takes down a Mashuk. And what I mean is that I think 2 attacks take down a Mashuk. Narcoleptic hit followed by a Thunder Strike should do the job. But little 𝗬𝗧's Yggdrasil is so low on stamina. I don't know if he wants to overexert like that, because he can't recover it he can't recover it back up with Kinu now gone.
Yeah, this is not looking very spicy for sure. Right now, both players trying to find any advantages so far. 𝗂𝗶𝗴 will be corrected for sure. Must have heard us. Perfect jab coming through as well to defense down. But if a Toxic connects, it's actually huge. Spores won't do as much. Interesting choice there. So actually, that was a
to save the stam, right?
Yes, I guess stamina saving for the Toxic things. Yeah. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Sure.
I think the tank might have just overexerted him a little bit. Now he can steal spores, but doesn't need to, of course. I mean, maybe spores on your own 𝗵𝗂𝗃 might be a bit more ideal. While you keep P-jabbing that 𝗂𝗶𝗴's life away, the question is, do you P-jab maybe expecting a swap, or do you uppercut and pray that that final Toxic tick will do it down, or will put that 𝗂𝗶𝗴 down? I mean, 𝗂𝗶𝗴 stays in, so if it is an uppercut...
Yes, sir. Perfect lethal. Doesn't even need the Toxic ticks to deal with it. 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶 punched the... No! The 𝗵𝗂𝗃 lives at 0.6% HP! My god! 𝗵𝗂𝗃 says, I'm not down for the count yet, baby. I got one move in me. Oh my word.
Yeah,
Terrible
insane.
comes back in.
It's crazy. Maggia always has been surviving by the skin of his teeth. One little HP remaining. And hey, a lot of the credit can be attributed to that double screen. 10% damage mitigation. 𝗧𝗫𝗀 is double typing, so that's 10% mitigated right there. If it wasn't for the double screen, 𝗵𝗂𝗃 would have obviously been down. So not a bad item, but all right, the spores does get applied onto that half-full 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶. And hey, both spores get applied, so give and take here. I believe it's a net negative because poison is more.
Oh no, congratulations, you played yourself. You did 6% damage for no regeneration on top of 2 negative debuffs. My god, once again, this is... I hate seeing this. Oh my god. That is so annoying. I mean, I would be pissed off as a loser. You're like, alright, I'm gonna spores myself, regenerate, boom, Toxic tick exhaustion. Like, come on. But I will say, you kind of expect it, but at the same time, it's still so annoying.
Yeah, of course. That's just what comes with the territory. You needed the kill on 𝗵𝗂𝗃, but yeah, you did the spore. Your spores was faster, right? If snrplat spores would have connected first, then it would have been the Toxic ticks that would have been removed there. But it is what it is. Little 𝗬𝗧 find himself down in a bit of a deficit here. 3 Temtems remaining. It looks like blue side, orange side, whatever Maggia chose. It will be paying off. And Naga is already going down. It looks like just throwing it away to that Thunder Strike there.
𝗧𝗫𝗀 with no stamina can't save the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 regardless. Stone Ball rocking the 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗶 out of this match. And Rawrzyyy staring death in the face. He has 3 heads with the 𝗂𝗶𝗵𝗶 and the 𝗧𝗫𝗀 still in the back. This Tolkien has so much work to do and so little HP to work with. It has to basically one-shot the rest of the roster here for the side of Maggia to put this to a 1v1 position. But Mom's Lunch gonna make it even harder. This Tolkien will have 1 move in him, pretty much.
Yeah, not too bad. So yeah, so much work little 𝗬𝗧 has in front of him. The tornado should go a long way, so much so that it does one shot. But I believe this Rawrzyyy should be paying it forward with another one shot. So Stone Ball does take it down. So now it is quite literally 𝗧𝗫𝗀 versus the remaining of Maggia's team. And it's just 2. So Rawrzyyy 𝗂𝗶𝗵𝗶 versus a 𝗧𝗫𝗀. We do know 𝗂𝗶𝗵𝗶 has those H-slaps, but whoa, little 𝗬𝗧 at +4 defense. Can he get the job done?
Spores is doing 13% damage a hit. It's basically a Toxic tick. You have 4 turns before the... Oh no. I was gonna say you have 4 turns before you run out of shields. But the 𝗂𝗶𝗵𝗶 definitely isn't running out of shields. 𝗧𝗏𝗃 to follow through. Rawrzyyy guaranteed dead actually next turn. Good shot. H-slap once again connecting. But the defense up is quite huge. Looking at the stats already, 𝗂𝗶𝗵𝗶 has way more HP than 𝗧𝗫𝗀 in this scenario and has less stamina consumption theoretically. So concession forced out. Maggia takes game 2. Mr.
So let's see if it's anything like game number 1, game number 2. snrplat does have quite the obvious ban in that 2Vine. And okay, I can't recall if 2Wire has been getting the ban, but I haven't seen 2Wire in this whole series, so I would imagine 2Wire has been getting the ban.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this draft will turn out. Of course, both players now sort of feeling each other's playstyle a little bit. But it will boil down to what the opening here for Maggia is. Picking up 𝗵𝗶 again, I mean, that didn't absolutely work for sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Naga the pickup as well for 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 in the first game?
I think it was. Wait, no. For Maggia it was. I don't remember. 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 decided. I remember in game 1, he chose the 𝗬𝗏 over the Nagais, at least for game 1. I'm trying to recall from this previous game. There was a point where double Nagais were on the board. I do recall that. But man, I can't recall. A little bit too many games today. But let's just see how it goes going into this game number 3. So 𝗵𝗶, 𝗧𝗵𝗺 anticipating the Nagais there. But it's not going to be a Nagais today. Instead, it's going to be the mirror 𝗧𝗵𝗺.
Yeah, so double Scara.
Yeah, let's see what Maggia decides to round out. We've seen, I mean, the toxic cores have been in all these matchups. The 𝗬𝗏, 𝗵𝗶, 𝗬𝗏. So we'll see. I mean, Rawrzyyy did a little something, but with that Nagais 𝗬𝗏 still available to him, I don't see it being picked up just yet. And alright, the 𝗂𝗀𝗶 with the 𝗧𝗲𝗺 does get the ban, which I think is a good ban. I think that 𝗧𝗲𝗺 does so much work for the side of snrplat. So hey, you can't pick up one Toxic Temtem, you pick up the other ones. 𝗧𝗲𝗺, 𝗬𝗏, those are what he's going to go forward. So one final pick. The option is Nagais and Rawrzyyy. Let's see the counter. Oh, if it's Yowler, I think like you have to go Nagais here. But forget what I know. Rawrzyyy is the pick. Rawrzyyy for game number 3, which happens to be the final game of our finals today. Let's see what these tamers have in store. Who is going to be crowned the Plus Weekly Tournament number 50 champion here today? We get everything right here, right now.
Good friend on Maggia's side, half full on 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶's. So, interesting differences here. The 𝗵𝗶 should not be able to be doubled up, unfortunately, for the side of 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶. The big thing as well in this scenario is that Yowler is uncontestable. Well, there's no major contestant to the Yowler. So 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 has that monster in the back pocket. Maggia will be looking out for that. Obviously, your biggest chance to deal with the Yowler is some brute force or 𝗵𝗶. One or the other should be able to work here. But Nox will be picked up here. 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗶 swaps out the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 for that 𝗬𝗵𝗆. So interesting tray switch swaps up here. 𝗧𝗵𝗺 gets swapped out as well for Maggia for that roller. Interesting swap decisions. I'm wondering what could they have possibly thought would come in for both players, because Toxic will come through, do some decent shit damage on the roller. But yeah, I have to look like, what was Maggia thinking? Maybe thinking
I think
he was
hoping the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 would stay in, but it looks like 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗆 reading one step ahead, knowing that Rawrzyyy was coming in for the 𝗧𝗵𝗺. He brings in the 𝗬𝗶𝗆 for the plague. So hey, one step ahead. That's how 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗆 is playing this right now, going into turn 2. So now instead of the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 having to retreat, now it looks like it's the Rawrzyyy having to retreat in that back line. Luckily, he has a perfect option in that back line. It looks like 𝗬𝗏 / 𝗵𝗶 feel very, very good. Both are decent against a 𝗬𝗶𝗆. Maybe 𝗬𝗏's a bit more safe because you do have that 𝗬𝗏 on 𝗬𝗧𝗵𝗆's side with the narcoleptic hit online. And hey, narcoleptic hit is effective into the Rawrzyyy, and it would be effective into the 𝗵𝗶. So I'm thinking 𝗬𝗏 has to swap in there. We'll see though. Maggia doesn't like to keep things too straightforward. And oh, forget what I said. Rawrzyyy staying in.
The Dust Vortex goes in the 𝗧𝗵𝗆. Perhaps thinking it was something else. Narco hit as well. So putting the 𝗧𝗵𝗆 to below 50% HP, obviously below 40% is trance. But I I'm not sure how much I love that. Maybe reading Starbolt swap, but
yeah, we'll keep in mind, Blue. Obviously, those are like the obvious plays. Like anyone just getting into the game, click green circles, plague into rotor. That was the play, right? Sure. But man, these mind games at this high level. Little Uzi respects 𝗧𝗵𝗶 so much, saying, you know what, 𝗧𝗵𝗶's so high level. He knows that a plague allergic spread will take me down. So he's gonna swap in rotor 100%. I'm so convicted on that swap. 𝗧𝗵𝗶 playing those mind games, keeps in rotor and gets some good value there. So really impressive stuff. Those are the big balls plays that really gives you that upper hand. And it's so frustrating to play against because you can't really read that. It's technically the wrong play, but it ends up being the right play, right?
Yeah, Mark Shield was forced out here considering the damage taken and the roller being rent-free. Stone Wall applied on the Nox as well. Just resistant, making those buffs stronger, especially when Trance is finally procced. You get a 2-on-all stats there. But yeah, I mean, if anything, I think Lil Uzi was expecting the ruler swap out. But if you think about it, from Maggia's side, he would get a free swap in, and I don't think he wouldn't mind being able to swap in a Mashuk with a full HP Nox. Especially if the ruler did get picked there. So, like, I think Maggia would have not minded either way, honestly. And for Lil Uzi, right, it was just an attempt to read for a greedier play on Maggia's side. But regardless, the Yowler will be swapped in here. He brings out the big guns, brings out the big bear. Spores to follow, just putting more chip damage on the roller. Slowly taking it away. 3 more ticks to go. Stare, though, gonna put defense down. And that's huge.
Yeah.
Stone Ball, speaking of which, huger, does 40% damage onto the Yowler. And I just realized it's Sully from Monsters Inc. Shout out to that boy.
Man, I freaking love that movie. But man, I am thoroughly impressed with 𝗧𝗵𝗶's plays right now. How in the world are the 2 Temtems that are supposed to counter rotor theoretically on paper, 𝗬𝗵𝗆 𝗧𝗵𝗺, don't manage to take down a rotor in 3 turns? It was on the contrary. 𝗬𝗵𝗆 was pressured out. How does that happen, right? How does a 𝗬𝗵𝗆 get pressured out against a rotor? It makes no sense, but that is what we're seeing here right now. Goring taking that Sully so close to death.
Jesus, show up is not free here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most expensive show up I've seen in my life. A narco hit will one-shot it. That's Yowler gone. That's your biggest core unit of disposing of these Temtems, just straight out the gate gone. And plus, I was just gonna say before that disaster happened, you know what we always say here, sometimes the best play is the most obvious play.
Yeah, it's
right
tough
now,
though, huh? Because you do you do the obvious plays and then people read you, right? So it's so tough. It's just how they say sometimes Temtem can be a little rock, paper, scissors at the highest level. You know, no RNG in the techniques themselves, but a decent, you know, a handful there with trying to read your opponent's mind. A little bit like rock, paper, scissors, as Brody likes to say, as he says forever now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You get read like a book. Sometimes, you know, it may be the length of a Shakespeare book. It may be the length of a Seuss book. You never know. The Acid Reflex connects Thunderstrike to bring down the hammer, trying to secure the kill on the Nox, but the Trance will proc instead, and it goes from bad to worse as the Nox now probably fine here. Yeah, he's fine. First aid kit, narco hit. He'll take that. +2 defense says, no thank you. I'll be fine. And he wakes up. Yeah, I mean, God, that's so heartbreaking. Yowler literally going down in a single turn. It did absolutely nothing except face check a couple of hits. It is heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, it was perhaps a bit of a greedy one, knowing what could be coming his way. I don't think he read rotor going there. I think he thought rotor was swapping out, but Maggia saw the damage potential and went for it and got rewarded for it. But yeah, we did see the show off actually went before the narcoleptic hit, so if he wanted to press like a savage suplex, that would have at least gone off before he died. So hey, any little damage could have done wonders, but I think Maggia knows he has this one as of right now. and doesn't want to stop any kind of pressure there, so keeping the pedal on the gas. 𝗬𝗶𝗴 though coming in is enough to scare away the 𝗧𝗵𝗺. But man, as we said before, he just has so much great Temtems in the back line to really absorb both of the Plague, both of the DVs. Speaking of, 𝗵𝗂𝗽 and 𝗧𝗵𝗺 are probably the best at that. I think the rotor in the back could be a little throwaway rotor as well. So hey, maybe just throwing it away right here too.
Yeah, I mean, the roller has done its job. The roller was basically 𝗬𝗽𝗽𝗶𝗴, and he's selling right now. He's definitely selling it. There it goes. Straight up. I mean, he's profited. He says, I'm out of here. Thanks for the money. 𝗧𝗵𝗺 will connect, and the 𝗬𝗶𝗴 will be fine with that. But the narco hit, definitely just trying to chip away. But the damage has been done, and the damage is severe. It's like a house on fire. You cannot turn smoke back into a house, but you can turn a house back into smoke. So
there we go. Well said, well said. But now 𝗵𝗂𝗽 coming in. 𝗬𝗶𝗴 goes down to a single uppercut. I guess he is at +2 defense, so maybe uppercut isn't enough. Might have to double in there, so I might just think it's more ideal to try to P-jab that spot. That way you can catch anything that swaps in. We'll see. We do know 𝗬𝗧𝗺 has one protector buff still left in that Kinu in the back line. So does he want to use it on this Yggdrasil? We'll have to take a look what's the best target. But so far, everything stays in. So this 𝗬𝗶𝗴 might just be going down this turn.
Ooh! Luckily, the 𝗬𝗶𝗴 with a +1 defense kept it healthy. Or +2 defense kept it healthy with the Toxic Ink. Will secure that kill. Down to 3 Tems now. 𝗬𝗧𝗺 is still fighting 4 Tems. 𝗧𝗵𝗺 has so much weight on its shoulders. I mean, I was going to mention Kinu, but Kinu ain't loving this either. He is going to walk into a wastewater Toxic Ink. So Kinu forced in here. Yeah, exactly. It's There's so much disaster going in this Kinu's way. At this point, he's trying to make sure that the Yggdrasil is as healthy as possible going to this 2v4 scenario. But again, there's so much damage coming through from Maggia. He doesn't even have, shall we say, like a typical DPS except the Nox. So Beta Burst comes through, Wastewater to follow. So this trade definitely in favor of Maggia here, unless a Spores comes in here to save the Kinu, but it's not enough. Narcoleptic hit the Collide. The Kinu will be picked off here with no compensation except for a little bit of damage going into that 𝗵𝗂𝗽. And now it is down to the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 and the Yggdrasil, down to the last legs of the 𝗬𝗧𝗺, fighting to the last breath here, 4 versus 2.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it looks like snrplat does have 𝗬𝗧𝗺's number, at least for today. You know, they say, since snrplat has been one of the most winningest tamers around, they say if you play Maggia straightforward, you will lose. So maybe snrplat, knowing that that's how people approach playing against him, tries to take advantage and goes for some really risky plays because they know people aren't going to play too conventional against him. Because if you play conventional, as they say, you just end up getting red from snrplat. So hey, I do gotta respect 𝗬𝗧𝗺 for not trying to do the super obvious plays. But like we've been kind of beating across the head, sometimes those green circles are more ideal. But 𝗵𝗂𝗽 finally does go down, so 𝗬𝗧𝗺 able to eliminate at least a single Temtem. Or is that 2? Yeah, 2 Temtems from snrplat's side.
We don't have a 5-0 here. Luckily, 𝗬𝗧𝗺 has done more than that. I would be very sad if Folder somehow lived to the end. For sure. But 𝗧𝗵𝗺 coming in here, +3 special defense, +2 special attack, +2 defense. Acid Reflux is going to collapse this 𝗧𝗵𝗺 if it does come back into the active position. Speed Arrow in favor of Maggia as well. Put the nail in the coffin there. Toxic tick the fire through Fire Tornado to burn the Yggdrasil to cinders. Doesn't get quite there. Earthbreaker as an omen. I love the animation of Earthbreaker. Huge. It's huge, but it's not gonna get the kill, unfortunately. Plus, I saw that coming. Unfortunately, just not enough.
I thought it honestly might have been enough for the mirror match Earthbreaker, but it looks like 𝗬𝗧𝗺 had enough. Prayed for the Earthbreaker to kill, but Maggia, ladies and gents, we have an unprecedented 10-time champion, guys. Round of applause.